Hi guys, and happy weekend, and welcome to our weekly reading for the week of August 31st. So we're entering September, which means fall time's coming. And I know you guys all love your pumpkin spice and stuff, but this Caribbean girl, I am cold. And I've been living here in this particular state for like 13 years, and I'm not used to the cold. I am old, okay? And whatever. Times of change is good. It's welcome, right? So today we are using the Woodland Tarot, I believe it's called, the Wooden Tarot, as well as the Earthbound Oracle. Now, these are the decks that I kind of also chose for the Choose Your Own card on Instagram and Facebook, as well as the card of the day on yesterday, Friday. So let's go ahead and take a look at the energy for this week, right? So just like I say, it is an open collective reading. So take what speaks to you and leave what doesn't, right? So we're going to go ahead and begin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in groups of 3. Now, you may have a chance if you'd like to choose a group or just choose all 3. So what I want to do is kind of bring in the tarot and then bring in the Earthbound Oracle, which is by the same maker. And I'm going to kind of put those under. So I'm going to give you a second for you to either choose A, B, or C, or to just do it as a whole reading, which is what we're going for. However you want this to work. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first card. Now, what we see is the Happy Squirrel. Now, when this card comes up, it's a lot of working with really self-empowerment here. And we may have been given our power to other people to dictate how we should feel, and what we need to do now is reclaim that power. Now, this is more, of course, easier said than done, but starting with baby steps. So for example, if somebody is perceiving their self-esteem on me. Maybe they're not having a great day, but they're judging and criticizing. A lot of times I like to remind myself that this person is projecting this on me. This has nothing to do with myself. So what this is let's start off the week with just boundaries. Boundaries would work very good. Going through what the world is going through and our shifts that we're, personally going through. Having boundaries is pretty much like brushing your teeth. This is something that you definitely want to work in every day. Just because you have the healer tendency doesn't mean that you're responsible to carry other people's burdens. If you have been doing this, you've definitely felt how this is just starting to get heavy on you. You need to give yourself time to recharge your energy. We are not responsible for other people's burdens. We are not responsible for how people perceive us. And how people perceive us really has nothing to do with us either, right? So it's working on the selves as we reclaim that power. Now, the card the card that's enhancing it, we see the card of creativity. So creativity to me has always been important. I see creativity as a form of therapy, and the beautiful thing about getting creative is not just with paint and with movement. This could also mean, if you're facing maybe next coming week, if you're facing something and you're feeling stuck, get creative. Get creative about how you're seeing it. Get creative about ways that you can work through that problem. Instead of seeing it as a final, get creative and see where you go with it. You definitely want to remain open next week to seeing things from a different angle, as you may feel a little bit overwhelmed because it feels like you're carrying around the world of your the shoulder. Wait, how do you say that? Oh my God. The weight of the world in your shoulders. There we go. And basically, it's a time for you to release and renew yourself. Now, let's take a look at the middle. Now, in the middle, what we see here is the Seven of Stones. So the Seven of Stones, we see a lot of growth. Now, this growth is kind of like a little bit twisted and a little bit weaved in there. And what this means is that your growth has come through cycles. And the cycles of your growth have not come easy. Now, you may be someone that people may look at your life from the outside and say, wow, they're so lucky, they have everything. But literally, they don't know the hard work that you pulled up. So next week, you're being asked to really celebrate yourself for who you are, for your accomplishments. Remember, they don't have to be big. Sometimes an accomplishment is, I woke up today and I made it to nighttime. And that's enough. It's about really pulling ourselves away from anybody's expectations as well as our own expectations on ourselves, and really try to go with the flow next week. As you can see, boundaries are needed. You need time for yourself and really going with the flow. We connect those two beautifully, right? And then what we see is resistance. So you're going through something and there's a change happening, and the worst thing that you can do is resisting it. Don't fight the change. Change is difficult. Yes, it's not easy. We're being asked to go into the unknown, and of course we're going to resist. We're like, wait a minute, no, I don't want to go there. I want to stay comfortable. But whether we want to go there or not, the universe is going to take us there. So stop resisting the changes that are happening and really just trust them. Trust it like bread and butter. Like, just go with the flow. The thing here is not knowing where we're going, not knowing what we're doing, and that's okay. Just go with the flow, because the more that you resist the changes that are happening right now, the harder it's actually going to be, right? And you see how your change comes in ups and downs, which means you get hit pretty hard, but you still find a way to get through it. Just be easier on yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. Let's take a look at the next card. And what we see is the Three of Plumes. So when this card shows up, of course, we are in that Pluto retrograde, and we are also in the middle of the Uranus retrograde. I said yes because we have the Death card with plumes. Now, this is the transition part that you're in. So if you've been feeling a lot of repressed emotions coming to the surface, if you're extra sensitive, if you are just reacting in ways that you have no idea why you're reacting, there's a lot of inner healing happening. There's a lot of vulnerability there, and I feel like you may actually be resisting this, and you just have to sit there, right? Vulnerability is actually a very beautiful thing, and it takes a lot of courage, and vulnerability will show us our truth. And if we sit with it, we could get to the root of many things. What we see here is next week you may be acting just like that. You may be feeling tired, overly emotional, and that's just perfectly fine, because we see the Death card. We see a transition that you're in, right? So I really do enjoy these cards for next week. They're actually deeper than what we usually get, which is really good, because we see that shift that we're in. And not only the shift, we are literally being asked for next week to set some boundaries, to understand that we cannot take everyone's burden. We need to take care of ourselves, right? To be creative when it comes to problem solving. We're asking ourselves to give ourselves a little bit of credit because we've been through it, okay? We've been through it, even though the world may not know, and they may just think that, oh, you got it happening, whatever, that I can barely speak English, but you know what I mean, right? And basically, it's give yourself credit and stop allowing people's expectations to get in the way, as well as stop resisting the change that's happening. Really, really work with meditation so you could go with the flow. And then we're being asked to sit in our vulnerability. So it's going to be a little bit of an emotional week, right? But as you can see, it's really leading us to something, to the next level. So I really do enjoy. I enjoyed this whole entire little reading that we did for this week. It's just very calming and soothing, even though we're going through it, right? So I really hope that you guys enjoy this little weekly meetings that we have with each other. And basically, if you guys ever want to schedule a reading, I know many of you send me questions. We are now scheduling for February 2021. I know that is a long wait, but remember, I've been doing this for quite some time, and they always happen when they should. And right now, the readings and everything is on sale. You don't need a code. And the newest thing in the shop is the Witches Portal library. And the Witches Portal is something that we've worked on for months, where you can find most of all of our courses in one place. So you pay the subscription, and every month we add new classes. Therefore, you don't have to sign up anymore for the $25 courses. They're all going to be there as a library. Things that I've taught years ago, to newer things, to exclusive classes for the portal. So that's going to be there. And also pay attention because every week we have like a flash sale, some sort, right? So basically, the shop is www.lightwitchtarotshop.com. I always get embarrassed when I say this. I feel like an infomercial. Yes. All right. And I will see you guys next weekend. Oh, I forgot we didn't do hair talk. What in the world? So hair talk in September 1st, so in a few days. It's going to be, I believe, 5 months or 6 months since I shaved my head. It's pretty long if you make it straight, but you guys with curly hair know that the longer your short hair gets, the more it curls. So I do feel like I have a grandmother style. Another thing you may notice is I did dye my hair. I know I said I wasn't going to dye it for a year, but you guys know that I kind of do what I want. And I know there was some few people that were upset that I dyed the gray, but I needed to do it. I needed to pick up. I was starting to actually feel like my gray hair, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not ready for it yet, and that's okay, you know. Maybe when I'm 40 in a few months, or maybe when I'm 50. For now, I want to enjoy. And it starts here, who knows? You guys know who knows when I get my hands on bleach, but I'm trying not to do that. We're trying here, we're trying, right? So I will see you guys all next weekend. I love you. Thank you for being present with me today, and I'll see you again next week. So lots of love and light to you all, and blessed be. Bye-bye.